How's it going? I'm doing well, man. I can't complain.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Hey, if I did, no one would listen to me anyway.
Nobody listens.
That's right. What the heck?
Yeah,
man?
shit, man.
Too funny, man.
Yes.
Hey, so what do you got here? You got some new material.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no, I actually, I've been, so I'm like, I can't see her. I'm like, just right here. I'm going to step right here. How's that? Yeah, I've actually been to jw.org quite a few times. And
Super.
read some material, things like that. And I, whenever I talk with my Jehovah's Witness friends, I never want to misrepresent them or anything like that. So, just if I can get this straight, so you guys would say that Jehovah is the Father, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Jesus is the first and greatest creation, and is the Archangel Michael, right?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. And then, so I want to just get this straight. They have a lot of my friends, my Jehovah's Witness friends, they have a tough time reconciling this question that I ask them. So I want to see what you say about it.
Okay.
I'm just curious. Maybe you can. So in Isaiah 44:6, Jehovah, he says that I am the Alpha and the Omega, right? So in Revelation 22:12 and 22:13, it's the revelation of Jesus Christ through his angel, right? And he's given it to John, who's the partaker. It says John, and he's the partaker of the tribulation at that time, right? It says in Revelation 1:9, but in 22:13, Jesus says, "Behold," he says, "I am coming soon, bringing my recompense to pay each one back for what he has done." And then he says there, "I'm the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end." So you got Jehovah over here saying that he's the first, the Alpha and the Omega, and then you have Jesus over here saying that he's the Alpha and the Omega.
I see where you're going.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Here, I'm just gonna pull. Are you in the New World Translation?
So what did you say the first one, Isaiah?
Yeah. So Isaiah 44:6.
44:6.
You know, you guys picked a pretty good spot right here, huh? That's not bad.
But it used to be better because it was over there. But
Wait, where at? Wait,
it
where?
used to be right over there in the shade.
Well, why'd you move? They said you got to
kinda-
step to the side,
we
or what?
try to stay out of the way.
I see. Did someone say you're blocking a public way and you got to get out of the way?
You know, every now and then folks come and complain about certain stuff that had nothing to do with us.
Oh,
And it's my understanding as well that the city of Phoenix has changed some of their free speech zone.
that's so wild, huh?
guidelines.
Yeah.
And so I think that we were probably asked to move as part of that change in their guidelines.
I see.
Maybe they want the free speech.
So they said, hey, move 20 feet this way.
Yeah, and you're good.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Then you're good.
it makes sense once again, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, yeah, so it was Isaiah 44:6.
This is what Jehovah says.
Yeah.
The King of Israel.
Correct.
His repurchaser, Jehovah of armies. I am the first and I am the last.
Correct.
There is no God but me.
Correct. Yes. And when I was asking this gentleman, I didn't catch his name. What was your name?
And what was yours?
I'm Brett.
Brett?
Okay. So, sorry. So, did you ask me what I was referencing as far as the other one? Yeah.
God is
Yeah. So,
the
Revelation 22:12 and 13. You have Jesus there, claiming to be. He says, "Behold, I'm coming soon to pay each one back for what he has done, and bringing my recompense. I'm the Alpha and the Omega, the first and last, the beginning and the end." So my question is, are there two? Because it can't make sense if there's two Alpha and Omegas. See, because there's only one Alpha. Alpha and Omegas means it's Greek, right? First and last.
That's what Jehovah says. I am the Alpha and Omega.
Oh yeah, no, and I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, Jesus himself says that he's the Alpha and the Omega.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
And so because of the uniqueness of Revelation in that instance, and this is just me.
Sure.
I'm thinking that, as it states right here in one of my pieces of reference here, that Jesus is talking about his own bestowed title, calling attention to his unique resurrection.
Okay.
Because Jesus was the first to be resurrected. He was the first and the last to be resurrected in that sense by Jehovah God himself. And so in that sense, that's how we believe that is his first and last. He's not equal to God in any way, shape, or form, or in any... I'm assuming maybe you're thinking like the Trinity.
Oh yeah.
Is that what you're kind of leaning
No, exactly. That's where I.
Because it's the uniqueness of his resurrection, not in his absolute position. Because in Colossians, Jesus is called the firstborn of creation.
Oh yeah, okay, no.
So, and God, obviously, if he's got no beginning and no ending, he couldn't have been created.
Well, you seem like a really intelligent man.
No, I'm not.
No, you are. So hold on, let me run this past you since you took it there. There's an instant. I'm going to go back to what you said about firstborn, but you did say something about he doesn't claim to be equal with God, right? Okay, so do you remember the account in John 5 after he heals the man at the pool of Bethesda? He tells him, pick up your mat and walk. Guy picks up his mat and walk. He's been an invalid for 38 years, right? He goes, go away. So he healed him on the Sabbath one, and then so he goes to the temple and they go, who healed you? He's like, that guy, I don't know who he is, right? So they ask him, you healed the man on the Sabbath, you know what I mean? And he said, I'm doing my Father's work until now. By him saying my Father, he was claiming to be, John, the author, in John 5:18, I think is where this is, he says, he made himself equal to God, so they picked up stones to stone him. You see what I'm saying? So he did, in that instance, claiming, he said, I'm doing my Father's work until now. So he's claiming there that he's equality there with God.
But again, there's no reference in that to him being God. He's doing work equal to God because, in a sense, that would be kind of God-like, wouldn't it, to be able to tell a person, hey, take your mat and walk.
Well, yeah, because because in him, like it says in Philippians, right? Him being God did not attain. He didn't find it something to be held on to. He says that. So, and he says, and basically what he did, he was holding on to it, and then he humbled himself in the form of man. So, in other words, he exposed himself to the limitations of our humanity and set aside the privileges to exercise certain deistic qualities, right? But
so when Jesus stated that that his Father was greater than he, why would he say that if he was God himself?
Well, that's right, exactly, and I don't disagree with in that instance because he was fully God and fully man. So he humbled, like it says though in Philippians, right? He humbled himself in the form of man, right? So check this out. I'm going to run a verse past you, or not a verse. I'm sorry. I'm staying focused on the topic. So listen. So difference in function does not indicate inferiority of nature. So let me explain it further. So are you married, sir?
I am.
I see
50
that.
years.
Congratulations, congratulations. So you and your wife are equal, correct? But you each have different functions. You have a different role, right? God has made us in a creative order, right? Where you be the head of your household, right? But in no way, shape, or form in your humanity are you, as far as qualities, if you will, are better than her, right?
No.
Right.
But then again, in other instances in the references, and you again, you've done your study in it. Obviously,
yes, sir.
Probably talked with your Jehovah's Witness friends.
Oh, I have, and they've been good dialogues like this. No animosity.
No. The whole purpose of what Paul said is if you have the interchange of encouragement to be upbuilt and to build yourself up. So not coming from an area of animosity at all.
No.
But what is interesting is the fact that if Jesus was God, he stated that he did not know the day or the hour when things were going to come, things were going to transpire and take place. How would he not know that if he was God?
Yeah. Well, and it kind of going back to what I was saying is, in his humanity, he set aside certain privileges. I mean, he got hungry, he got tired, he was sleeping on the boat, right? So, but in Hebrews, it says that he went through everything that we would ever go through, so he could identify with us. So, of course, he was going to be born from a virgin in humanity, but at the same time, he was God, right? And so, but even the Jehovah's Witnesses would say that he is a God because it says that. So, and again, that can't be reckoned
with the little g, not the big G.
Well,
because if you look at John 1:1, which is typically one of the foundational scriptures for Trinitarians. Yeah. When you look at John 1:1, it states that in the beginning was the Word became a God, and all that. But if you go down, let me see, just because so John 1 goofy.
No, so John 1 goes like this: in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was, in your translation, a God. But from when I look at it in the Greek, that a is not there, and it would read something like this: in arche, in ho logos, kai ho logos, and proston theon. And then the word NRK in the Greek means you can go back as far as you want to go, as far back as you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it was already there. So we butcher the language. We say in the beginning, so it makes sense. But if you go into the Greek, it just says beginning.
Right.
Because John, being a human being, he's saying, look, you can go back as far as you want to go. As far as you want to go. And the word was already there. He was already there.
Okay, but then, as it states in our translation, no man has seen God at any time. The only begotten God, small g, who is at the Father's side, is the one who has explained him. So how could he be at his side if he's the same guy?
No, I'm not saying he's this. Okay, it's a great question. So you're making this point saying that I don't think they're the same person.
But I see what you're saying, because going back to the analogy of me and my wife.
Yes. Yeah.
So that same analogy. So
yeah,
I mean,
well, let me ask you this. Since you pointed out John 1:18, it says no one has seen God at any time. So I guess I'd volley back and ask you this, like I've asked my other Jehovah's Witness friends, is then who was everybody seeing in the Old Testament then? Because you have
a representation of God. They never seen him.
Well,
God never was seen. God didn't he tell Moses that? No man could ever see me and live?
But check this out though.
Okay.
In the burning bush, he said, Moses goes, who should I say sent me? And he says, tell them I am sent you.
Exactly.
What did Jesus claim to be? In John 8:24, he says, unless you believe I am, you will perish in your sins. So ego eimi, that same Greek word, and they picked up stones to stone him.
Exactly.
So again, you said no one has seen God at any time, but when Jehovah walked with Abram in the oaks of Mamre, so he saw him there. So no one has seen the Father at any time, but they're seeing a pre-incarnate Christ, sir. Because in Genesis 19, it says Jehovah called down fire from Jehovah. Well, so are there two Jehovahs or just the one?
No, there's one Jehovah. There's only one Jehovah.
But Genesis 19 though, reconcile that. Genesis 19, 20 through 23.
So obviously you've read the New World Translation.
Yeah.
Have you downloaded the study edition of the New World Translation?
No, I haven't downloaded it. No.
Here's the reason I'm asking.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you can read it.
I'm gonna be as dark as right now from the sun.
I'm visually impaired, so I use.
Wow, you got some big font there, man.
Bless her
so
heart.
I use the big print.
Yes.
But here's what's beautiful about the study edition. I don't know if you have the JW Library app.
I don't, but I'll take a look at it, ma'am. Yeah.
And the library app allows you access to all the research guide materials and everything. But within the library app, even if you look at the study edition,
it's
online.
Okay. Got it.
Let me get back to where I am here. So I was looking at the cross references to up to the top to hit my little arrow, my back arrow there.
You should get in the shade.
Shoot, I'm okay now. I'm getting my vitamin D right now.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You gotta make sure you're part lizard.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's
You're in Arizona.
I'm in Arizona. I gotta get that hide on me, right?
So the wonderful thing about the study edition is you have all kinds of extra stuff.
Yeah.
So here, for instance, verse 11. If you click on 11 and the study gem, and it'll go to 11. But research guide, and you can pull up all kinds of additional stuff.
Yep.
So I was looking at verse 13. I think is the one that had it there about Alpha and Omega.
Yep.
But anyway, all kinds of stuff within the research guide material. So you have to download the research guide too.
Okay.
But you'll have so much more access.
Okay.
And for us to try to remember certain things,
I understand.
or to read it quickly enough to make sense.
You're very versed.
But
that's
and
well, I gotta keep up with you guys. I talk to a lot of my friends, and we're always kind of going back and forth
it
talking.
It might really be fun for you to start digging into some of the research materials.
Okay.
And the beautiful part about Jehovah's organization is the research that's done.
Yeah,
it doesn't get put into the magazines unless it's been accurately verified.
Okay.
So you have a reliable source.
I understand.
Of your materials instead of just saying, oh, it came off the internet.
Yeah. No, and obviously I was giving you some Greek. Not that I'm some Greek scholar, but I do dig into the Greek translations.
And that's what you'll appreciate about. I mean, we can actually have a Greek interlinear translation, which on some of the verses that you had mentioned, I haven't looked at it in a while.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and
do me a favor. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. So in the account where Abram is walking with Jehovah in the oaks of Mamre, and then when he calls down Sodom and Gomorrah, you guys know the scene. When he calls down fire, Genesis 19. Take a look. Genesis 18 to 19. So
Okay.
so you have a context. So I'm not. So I'm not just giving you fake news.
No.
I want to make sure I'm not.
No.
I want to make because like I always tell people, I go, look, a text without a context is a pretext for a proof text.
There you
Okay.
go.
All right.
There you go.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
I got to get going.
Yep.